Thank you, Sajid, for putting that up. Again, I think that just gives you a real feel of the reach and opportunity within Tapeball cricket. I'm just going to put up the presentation. So again, as mentioned, we're very fortunate today to have Sajid Patel and Imran, both very experienced within the use of Tapeball cricket. Just to give us a background and insight in the ground, as we've seen it, certainly within our reach, it is almost the greatest secret and the biggest opportunity for cricket. The ICC already recognised that more Tapeball is played around the world than actually hardball cricket. So again, the reach from that point is becoming, and we're certainly seeing it within secondary schools now in terms of the ease and access of actually being able to play without some of the risk and group management that's required around that point. So I'm going to pass over to Imran, and Imran's kindly going to go through some of the history for us around this version of the game that's very much time relevant to our players. It adapts to the environment that everyone's available to take place. It makes sure that all the players are fully engaged, and it's very easy to set up. So Imran, thanks very much. If you'd just like to give us a bit of your experience and history and background to Tapeball, that'd be great. Well, I'll just unmute you, Imran.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yes, Imran, thank you.
Hi everyone. As like history of the table cricket, first of all, myself, I used to play table back home in 90s, and since I came here, I started in 2010. We used to play in Essex night cricket, and then there's a Waltham Forest Town Hall. We used to play on Greenfield. And in 2016, the first time ever I met with Sajid Bhai, there was a thing, Tapeball Tornado, organized in George Monix College, and somebody sent me a message. There is a festival going on, so can you play? That was the first time when we meet Sajid Bhai, and we played that time with him. And even I didn't know him before; he didn't know me. But now, after 4 years, and most of Londoners, like even outside London, the cricket players, they know me very well now. And then 16, and then I think there was another tournament in 17. 16 I won, 17 we lost Tapeball, and there was a very good organized by Sajid Bhai once again, and I was keep chasing him. Can he organize more and more like this Tapeball? Because the most of guys who used to play with me, they was keep chasing me. They want to carry on this type of cricket which we used to have in back home. And the credit is to Sajid Bhai, to be honest. And then 18, there was another Tapeball festival in Chelmsford Cricket Ground in Essex, and we played. And I think there was L24 channel. I think it was live on that. And we really enjoyed that one. Unfortunately, I lost, I think I won 16, 17, 18, and 19. 3 years, I lost final. And these ones, that's what I remember of the history of this. And now, if like Sajid Bhai and Dan, they can do something special, like I would like to request them if they can write like a cement wickets and these floodlights festivals, tournaments here. And due to the COVID-19, I think it is ideal like 6-a-side, short format of cricket like T4, T5. It can be arranged after work hours, like everybody is working during the day. For example, now most of people, they have on furlough and they're free. And 6-a-side, I think it's a safe distance game and everybody can play. And there is some short videos which we have added, some pictures which gives an ideas to the others as well who don't play. Most of nowadays I can see hardball players, they comes and they are practicing Tapeball now. And even there's few, I met them personally last week and before last week. They said first time ever they played Tapeball and they find it is nice and easy to play because nothing special, easy to bat on. For the safety reason, there's no hazards, to be honest. And everywhere, wherever you want, you can just play. You just need like 5-6 people around you, and you can just play your cricket table basically. And the equipment is not expensive. It's like, I can say 25 pound a bat, ball. I think you spend 10 pound and you get like 20 balls. Simple. and the tape is £10. Like for example, like £50 if you spend, and then you can play whole week. Basically, whole week you can play cricket with, like, for example, if you have 8 teams.
Thanks, Imran. Imran, just give us a bit. I know obviously we've got to stick within the ECB guidelines. So like you're saying about small groups of 6 people, but when hopefully those guidelines are slightly lifted and we can play a bit more, what are kind of formats that sort of take place within your Tapeball competitions and
Mostly they're organizing like six hours and 4 bowlers, like 2-2-1-1, and there is no restrictions like for example, before, like Sajid Bhai was organizing, like if 4 bowlers can be used, they cannot bowl in the top, they cannot play at the top 4 positions. But here it's different, like six hours game, and for example, bowler, batsman, all rounder, they can play at any position, and it's the 4 bowlers has to be used in the 6-over format. 6-over format.
And what is the kind of tapes that you use for doing the equipment with the tape and stuff?
It is like white tape normally we used. I never bought it here, but like whenever somebody comes from back home, I ask my friends and families, like, just send it to me. They send me basically a gift, and I never paid. So when I go myself, I just bring it from there. But like I can provide this one at my cost, no problem. That's not a big deal, and I can sponsor this because this is my passion about the cricket, and I can sponsor these balls and tapes for the first time. So at least engage with young community and bring them at one ground, and let's enjoy.
And just picking up on the formats and the other pieces as well, and like you're saying about when you go to a facility, how do you adapt the format to fit within that facility? Obviously, seen on the video, quite a few people, it's very popular to obviously try and hit the ball as far as possible. So what kind of things do you do within a facility to adapt it to the games? I remember, for example, the one at Leighton Orient when we played there.
Yeah.
When you played there, you only scored 1 run if it went behind the stumps, and everything was hit in front. What other kind of things have you put in place for like car parks and mugger areas?
No, but when we play in different ground, obviously it is a full ground. It's not like that. Even like if we play in the car park, if the ball goes behind the stumps, batsman has to run. So if for example they can run 2, they can run 2, you know. But obviously Leighton Orient situation was different, because just behind the keeper there was a boundary line, so it's hits, and obviously there was only 1 run for that. So in the car park it's different game. For example, if ball goes back, you can run 1, 2, 3. You can run as much as you can. And in a proper ground, obviously it's a full game, as like a hardball game. Basically, it's a full game.
Yeah, that's right. And then
the boundaries are like 6 hours, in table, 80, 19, 100 runs, easy, and it can be chased.
Yeah, no, it's certainly been impressive to watch and seeing how people engage. But just be interested. I take it you obviously played when you were back in Pakistan as well. What was the sort of experience at table cricket back there as you were growing up?
Sorry, I think I missed that.
What was the experience of like growing up playing table cricket back in Pakistan?
So just give me a minute. Bro, give me 10 minutes. I'm coming. Give me 10 minutes. I'm coming. Okay, give me 10 minutes. On my meeting, just give me 10 minutes. Sorry, actually, my stuff here. Sorry.
No, I appreciate you giving up your time for working, man. But just interested in terms of what your experience of table cricket was when you were growing up, like in Pakistan and stuff.
Since like my childhood, I have a craze about cricket, honestly. But it's just like that age, and I was from a poor family, and you know, I still sometimes cry. I have love for cricket, and that time I even could not afford to buy a bat for myself. That is truth, I'm telling you now. And now, like wherever I go, I think I carry 10 bats in my car. Whoever they ask me, I'll just give it to them to play. No problem, because I can afford now. And this is my love for cricket. And in early days, we used to like for example, if we going school, and we used to play in the school, and then we come back home, wherever we find like streets, roads, anywhere. We're finding a way, like 1 hour, 30 minutes, we can just play cricket anywhere. But luckily here, we have cricket grounds, we have car parks, there's so many facilities, but just like, I would like you to come in this, and just if you can provide like a cement pitch, and like, you know, there's so many fields, green fields, there's just basically a need like 30-yard, like a cement pitch basically, and then anybody can play there.
Brilliant. Thank you, Imran. That's really insightful information, everything. So just moving on to Sajid now. And Sajid, you just give an introduction, explanation around how you've taken on through the conversations with Imran to use table cricket for the community?
Yeah, thank you, Dan, and very well said from Imran on the insight he's given us. And it's not a credit from me or Dan; it's a credit from you all. It's a collective effort by everyone that we are in this position. So yeah, it was back the conversation. Obviously, you know, with myself, Dan, we had a conversation with Arfan as well regarding the let's table cricket. We want to reach out to the community. It's another market that we need to sort of capture as well, and try and see how we can connect cricket with table cricket, social side of things, where people play for fun or enjoyment. Some do take it seriously in tournaments as well. It has a mixture of obviously just table cricketers and a few sort of club or how can I say hardball cricketers playing. When we first did our festival, we did it at, as Imran mentioned, George Monarchs College in August 2016. The response was unbelievable, where George Monarchs College made their facilities available at no cost at the time. And I think that's credit to Dan and Arfan for making those negotiations possible. And then we worked together in activating that. And to see the response, what we saw on that day was we probably saw about 80% cricketers who are just tape ball players, and the 20% were probably played tape ball and hardball. So there was quite a big percentage of people just playing tape ball cricket. So what we felt at the time, and obviously that tape ball cricketers were not getting the mainstream sort of how can I say, the eye line of how it was not part of the structure or development plan going forward, and an offer like a shop window, as Dan has showed me, that, you know, if we have various different shop windows, we can provide, you know, it gives options to people to approach the beautiful game of cricket where it connects bat and ball. Going forward, obviously, you know, from there we did various different tournaments in, as I said, in Waltham Forest, in Redbridge, in Newham, and obviously in other areas. And we did a road show as well. There was indoor tournaments which happened in UEL as well, where the whole launch really took place, where you saw the video of everyone sitting around and seeing a screen. That was just a brilliant journey. And it just took off to a whole new level, how I connected with people like Imran, who I've never known him before the very first time I met him. And, you know, the passion he showed, and not only him, there's other people out there who show real passion of the game of cricket through tape ball. And, you know, it's these guys have really, you know, it's about, I didn't have the knowledge of tape ball. The only knowledge of tape ball I had is when I went on holiday to India and witnessing tape ball tournaments happening there. So, and I also, before even I started the NCL, when I went on holiday to India, I put on in my village, I put on a tape ball tournament for the whole community to come together. And it was just absolutely undescribable feeling on the response that we got, that how people from past and present came together. And it was just something that which was, you know, it was missing, but I think we've done well on that. Moving on to tournaments, and obviously Dan, Arfan and Essex really come in, putting on the showcase at the county ground. Now that was a big statement. That was really big to see that at the county ground, you got tape ball cricket being played. I think some of the players also got involved, Ravi Bopara at the time, and I think others did get involved and had a go, which is really good. Then obviously there was Leighton Orient as well, another iconic venue, football venue, which is activated for cricket, another great statement. And it just, you know, credit to, again, Essex and obviously Leighton Orient Football Club for making it available for us to, for these cricketing communities to experience something like this at an iconic venue like that. So you had two iconic venues like the county ground and Leighton Orient. And, you know, it's just completely grown. I mean, lots of players playing on NTPs, so that's come in good use in a way. In car parks, in industrial estates, tape ball cricket really has come to a rise. And and obviously we wanted to continue the great work on how we could do this. And it's just, as I said, I think Dan would probably agree that for us, for the community to lead on this, we've learned a lot about table cricket. And we're not saying we know everything. We're still learning like everyone else. And it's just great to see that having table cricket now, as Dan mentioned, the ICC talking about it, the national boards talking about it, that just shows the movement of table cricket and cricket in general. Of, when we have other sports have adaptations of different versions to suit different audiences or different timelines or different formats, it's great to see cricket also moving on in that similar direction where it's very multi-dimensional, and that's the main thing, that this beautiful game can only grow from here.
Brilliant, thank you, Sajid. Just interesting, picking up from your point. How have you found the conversations when you've gone to, like, say, non-cricket environments, or people to use table cricket to engage new people into playing?
Oh, it's been really good. So I forgot to mention, we also did youth festivals as well in West Ham Park, Leighton, and obviously the Redbridge grounds as well. And the young people have really taken it on board, especially those who just sort of seen cricket on TV or seen their heritage playing or so. And they found it very easy to adapt because it's not wearing the helmets or the pads, or, they're just holding a bat and trying to swing for the ball. And it's just really good to see that as I said, as Imran mentioned, it's really easy to set up in such a way of activating. Again, you adapt to the facilities which are available, as mentioned, that if it's like a smaller ground, but you want to get two games on at the same time, then you look at the stumps behind the boundary to sort of see, all right, that can just be one run. But what would be the best way of putting a tournament on is to maximize the space. And that's the way that we would do it. And a lot of the players, I can say, not just from the NCL point of view, from other leagues, many tape-ball cricketers have now started playing hardball cricket on a Sunday or midweek. Some have gone on to play club cricket on Saturday as well. So it just shows that the impact that tape-ball cricket and the engagement that we've done has played in a very positive way.
Brilliant. And Sajid, what would be your sort of one or two top tips in terms of engaging tape-ball cricket?
So what was that? Sorry, Dan?
What would be like your top tip in terms of getting people to engage with tape-ball cricket?
As I said, you can always get in contact with myself, Essex Cricket, Imran, and others. We want to really maximise this opportunity, that any way we can look at connecting the game of cricket in any ways possible. We've done it. Tape-ball cricket has done it, and hardball cricket has done it through working with charity events, family fun days, festivals. We even did the International Women's Day. We did tape-ball indoors. So it just shows that the power of cricket you could say it's a street way, or how back home they call it gully cricket, which is obviously the yard cricket, you could call it. There's ways of, how on the campaign that Essex Cricket have done, that what's your excuse? Cricket can be played anywhere. So it's just a way of how we can activate and maximize spaces getting a game of cricket on. And it could be in various different formats. It could be a very short format, a very short aside game. It could be any way you can do it. It's very adaptable.
And Imran, what would be your top tip in terms of people like games? We know it's popular in East London, but it's starting to spread now. We've got a group up in Colchester that have started playing now. And I know certainly groups up in Peterborough and Luton play quite a lot of tape ball as well. So if people are seeing this as an opportunity, what would be your top tip in terms of how to spread it and get people playing?
Last year, just before just before when the summer was finishing, Irfan Bhai called me and he said, like, we have a match with Colchester, and I think it was a best of 3, and he told me to take the best team from Essex, table players. And I remember, I believe it was Sunday, but I think there was a rain, so we have to cancel at the end, if you're aware of that.
Yeah.
And the plan, I've chosen the best players of London, Essex, and I know they can play a really good game. And everybody was like keen to play, like, they was waiting for that moment. But unfortunately there was a rain, so we couldn't go. And same thing, like, this year, if anything comes like that, I would like to go take my team, like, represent Essex. And we play as a Essex, like it's the Essex team basically, and Colchester, Peterborough, wherever, like Luton, you suggest, we're happy to take it, we're happy to play. And I know now, like, after a few years, again, credit to Sajid Bhai, because in 4 years, like, more than I can say 300 players, more than 300 players I know, in the past, like in past 4 years, who playing with us now, and they know me. My name is Imran, what I do. And now, especially, Sajid Bhai was mentioning about myself, 16, 17, and 18. And last year I started playing league cricket as well, hardball. Like last year I played hardball, and plus, during the week I was playing table. And same thing, my plan is now this year, Sunday hardball, and rest of the days I will play table. And I will make now two teams, hardball and table. And hopefully next year my plan is to make two hardballs team and one table team, because my friends, some of them, they wanted to play table, some they wanted to play hardball. So I cannot refuse them. I wanted to keep them together with we have a good binding with the friends. And one thing is, table is very easy setup. Like, rain won't affect that, as long as, like, if you have a cement wicket, if it's rain stop, straight away you can start your game. There's no restrictions, like, just carry on. Hardball is different game, so only, like, if you guys, like, can uh, provide, like, such as facility for the table. And as I can see in past 4 years, the work you and Sajid Bhai has done it in past 4 years, cricket has gone to a different level. Table before even didn't know anybody. Like, even my son, he is only 6 years old, and he is just crazy about the cricket. When I go home, he just gives me a ball and bat. Daddy, come and play with me. Because I don't want him to just playing games on the mobile. I think this is a good idea for the other kids as well. Because, and I now wherever I go, I just take my son with me in the cricket ground, so at least he can throw ball, he can look at it, what is happening around it, rather than just sitting at home, which is not good for the health as well, as mental health as well. So I think physically activity is very necessary for the kids, and it's the future for the new generation. A table. So I don't know what can be done to organize, such as, like, as you just mentioned, Peterborough, Colchester, like there is more cities as well in UK, which can be fixture can be done, and we can take over team Essex.
Brilliant. Thank you, Imran. Sajid, I have a couple of questions. One being, someone's picked up on your 4 stumps. How did that come about?
Oh, how did that come about? I saw the 4 stumps when I went on holiday to India, seeing that table cricket is played with 4 stumps. They take away the equation of LBW. So obviously you can imagine playing on a cement wicket and how fast the game table cricket is. For the umpires, it could be a nightmare to give length before wicket. So a lot of tournament organisers went with the 4 stump options for the bowler to aim at one more stump. And we utilised it to bring in it here. We utilised it on our T10 competition. And it's just, as I said, it's what I said earlier, is adaptation to the game of cricket or any sport. We should always look to welcome, try and make it more enjoyable for the wide audience.
And then one final question I had as well. Oh, one was around Imran the kit. Someone said, like, tennis balls seem quite small. Can you get different size tennis balls to play with, or it's just normal tennis balls?
Like, I just saw one message now, because I didn't know there's a text message available. But like, the balls from here, like the sports shop here, it's not a good quality balls. So like, I get these balls like CA. There's AS. We get it from back home. And these are like larger size. It's not big as like hardball, but similar to that. And it's like a strong ball basically. It's not like very soft. And when you tape and then you hit, like, you can see, I think you must have seen like few sixes. Maybe I think in Leighton Orient you was witness, and in Chelmsford as well. I remember you have seen like the boundaries, like in short format of cricket. In 4 hours, I think 50. Like 50 is a good score, we think, but it's not. Second team can chase easily.
Yeah, I remember at Leighton, I think we lost 6 balls over the roof of the main stand at Leighton.
Yeah, you remember. Yes. Even the pitch was not great. It was like a plastic, I think.
Yeah.
It was not great. But if you have a cement, if the bowler gets like 2 or 3 sixes an hour, he's very lucky because like five or six sixes, any bats. If it's a good batsman, he can hit easy on the cement wicket.
Brilliant, thanks, man. And then Sajid, just obviously this, things like this is really helping to raise profile, and obviously we're all frustrated a little bit and still hoping for the positive move around the guidelines and moving forward. But as Imran says, it's possible to play with small-sided, with like small groups as well as within the guideline. How do we positively move the awareness and profile of Tapeball cricket going forward? Obviously, you're quite good with your videos and your social media. What other things can we do to make this sure this is a good news story going out around the community engaging in the game?
I think it's obviously getting it around to the whole community, selling it in a different way. So how can communities sort of, so for example, depend on the level of audiences as well. So it could be an over 50s or women's and girls, or, you know, that sort of thing where it's level playing field. We can look at that. We can look at ways of obviously young people, children, getting into this, getting into this format, activating playgrounds in schools. That could be another thing to give that sort of, how can I say, the replication of the cement wicket of back home, because obviously concrete would be good to bounce on. There's various ways, and as I said, it's all about activating and putting it together, making it fun and adaptable for everyone, for the wider audience, on connecting bat and ball to the game of cricket. And Tapeball cricket does give, and as what Imran said, the balls, the tennis balls are very important because they're a bit harder, they're a little bit bigger, they're sort of similar size to a level cricket ball, and it provides a similar feeling from the ball coming quicker. The ball, even if a batsman strikes the ball, it goes further as well. So that's what I mean by it. Sort of gives a replication to the normal traditional side of the game. So yeah, it's definitely something which, as I said, we have found a way, in connecting this version and how we can connect it with the foundations that we've all put together in creating in the game of cricket.
Well, thank you very much, and a huge thank you to Sajid and Imran for giving up their time to come and talk so passionately about Tapeball cricket. Again, if you've got any questions or things to follow up after that, then please get in touch with your county reps around the region. They'll be able to find out and get that information back to you. But a huge thank you, Sajid and Imran, for your time. The next webinar is on Thursday with Phil Nappett and Claire from the ECB, just going over all the safeguarding to support a club and to county welfare officers and club welfare officers through the process. So that'll be 5 o'clock on Thursday. But thank you again for joining us, and we'll catch up soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.